Do you mind if I record this conversation?
Not at all.
Okay, great. Can you tell me your name and spell it, and also what your title is and the organization and that sort of thing?
Sure. My name is Susan Ash. It's SUSANASH, and I am the director of the nonprofit group American Kratom Association.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about what that group does?
Yes, we advocate for people's rights to use the plant kratom responsibly for medicinal reasons. It's an herbal botanical plant that is used for a variety of different illnesses and conditions, and we do advocate for people who have a variety of conditions that are improved by using this plant.
What is it that the plant is said to actually do?
Mostly it is a pain reliever, a very effective pain reliever. It can also be effective in relieving depression and anxiety. It's got a lot of different characteristics that attract so many people that are looking for natural remedies. Right now, alternative treatments, and I would say pain relief is the number one issue because it does activate some opiate receptors. That's why it's controversial right now. But coffee activates opiate receptors. It's also used by some people who are suffering with addiction problems because it does ease opiate addiction symptoms.
There are some people who have said that kratom itself is addictive. Do you have a response to that?
Sure. I think that anything that you're going to be putting into your body every day can be addictive. And we're talking about a plant that's in the coffee family. We all know that coffee is addictive. So I would say that if you're using a large amount of kratom or abusing it, using too much in a day for days and days on end, you may develop some withdrawal symptoms when you stop taking it.
From talking to the drug task force commander out here, he told me that a lot of the concern that they were hearing from the community was coming from parents, and that there were actually children, or young people at the very least, that were using it, or using these different products that contained kratom. Do you guys have an age recommendation, dosage amount, that kind of thing?
We don't have a dosage amount. We absolutely do not think that anyone under the age of 18 should be consuming this product. No. We do believe that there are certain restrictions and guidelines that should come along with the product, but that would mostly be basically only adults should be consuming it. So I do understand those kinds of concerns. We do agree that there should likely be an age limitation.
Is there anything like that that's currently in place, like in these gas stations? Is there a recommendation on the bottles or anything that would prevent a clerk from kind of unknowingly selling this to somebody younger than that?
I'm not really familiar with this because I'm not very familiar with this specific product. Most people that I speak for and about are familiar with this product, but a lot of us use kratom just the straight plant, not as an additive to, not as an ingredient to a beverage shot. Though we are very familiar with this specific product, I am not aware of guidelines that are given to people that sell it. No.
Okay. Obviously, you saw a little preview for our story, and you had a response to it. I want to make sure that we get any information out there that you wanted to include after reading that blurb.
Right. Well, I think our main message is that when used responsibly, kratom is an actual, very safe alternative remedy to conditions like chronic pain, depression, and anxiety, and it can even relieve opiate withdrawal. There has been a lot of commotion and controversy surrounding the plant lately because it has been portrayed as an opiate substitute, which it really isn't. It's just a very effective natural remedy, and we believe that when used responsibly, medicinally, it is safe.
The different energy drinks, I guess that's what we're most commonly hearing them called, that are being sold in some of these convenience stores. you had mentioned, you kind of speak for the plant being used purely. Does that then mean that you guys have any concern about the way that it might be being mixed with other things? Is that at all concerning to you?
That's not a concern to us in this product, no. In this type of product as an ingredient, no. But I'm speaking with some very specific knowledge, scientific knowledge on some research that has been done on this particular product, which is why I can say that with a great deal of comfort. They have done studies on the safety of this particular product that I have read. It was presented to the state of Wisconsin Controlled Substances Board. It's out there for anyone to read on the safety of this product. We believe that any and all kratom should be available to Americans that feel they need an alternative solution to pharmaceutical medications. And if it's going to be an ingredient in something that has other safe ingredients, we'll support it.
And I know that you've touched on this as well, but the controversy behind it, why do you think that this has happened? Why do you think that it's been pulled off of the shelves?
I think a lot of people are probably getting a hold of something that has more than kratom in it, or are mixing kratom with other things that might give them a feeling that they have taken something that is more intoxicating than the actual plant itself. I think that's a big problem. I also think that there may be people out there that are selling something different that's not actually kratom. I don't have proof of that, but with some of the symptoms and some of the experiences that we read about, and knowing, I take this on a daily basis. I have chronic Lyme disease. Knowing that I don't get and never have gotten this feeling after a year and a half of use, I just can't make any sense of these reports that people are comparing it to things like heroin.
Does kratom have a scientific name?
Yes, it's called Mitragyna speciosa. Do you want me to spell that for you?
I think I actually have the spelling. I did see your website earlier on in the day, and actually some of these energy drink websites that list that as being something that is in them. Where do things stand right now with you as far as trying to contact the sheriff's office and the task force, because you had mentioned you're trying to reach out to folks in Talladega County?
Yes, I made several phone calls yesterday and was only given a voicemail. When I did talk to someone today, I was referred to a Commander Jason, who is in charge of the task force, and I left a message essentially begging for a call back, saying I think there's been a misunderstanding because I don't believe that kratom is illegal in the state of Alabama. I do not believe that any prosecution should be occurring as criminal act when it is not criminal to possess kratom in the state of Alabama or in Talladega County right now.
What would you like to see happen at the end of all of this?
I would like to see this issue resolved immediately for the state, and I would like to see us have some discussions, both sides of the table, about our concerns about the pros and cons before making any rash movements like pulling things from the shelves and threatening that people are going to be arrested.
Do you foresee any steps in the future for your organization as far as making that a reality?
Absolutely. This is what we do on a daily basis. We have people that work in the state of Alabama. We have members in Alabama that are very engaged in this issue. We just need to know who to talk to, and we'll be there. This is, like I said, this is what we do every day. We do it in all states. We've been to Wisconsin over the summer to address the issue. We just want to know who to talk to, and we'd be happy to sit down at a table and discuss the issues with all parties involved that have concerns.
All right, Susan, I think that's every question that I have. Is there anything else that you just want to say, clarify, anything along those lines?
I am a little worried about the authenticity of this, but I already shared that with you, because if there had been a county ordinance passed in Talladega or something like that, it would have been public. It would have been a public process. I don't know how things work in Alabama. I don't know how things are added to the controlled substances list, but I know kratom is not on that right now. So I think that's the biggest issue, is that I don't know how real this is. I'd love to be able to talk to the task force representative myself to get a better understanding.